This is just straight sandpaper. This is off my wide belt sander and I glued it down to a piece of MDF so it's nice and flat. What we need to do is use it to make sure the surface all the way around both sides is totally flat. There's nothing sticking up. That will cause gaps. So it's a very simple process. We take a pencil first and draw a pencil line all the way around on the kerfing. Just use the side of the pencil. Something that you know that when it's sanded off, it's flat. This is the reason that I mentioned before in an earlier video demonstration why it's so important that these don't sit really low to the sides, because there's going to be a lot of sanding to get it all flat if these are all out of whack. That's why we got them as close as we could. Flip it over, do the same thing. Just use the edge of that pencil and draw all the way around. Okay, pencil line is on. I'm going to pop it out of that mold and put it into the same mold, but I've got some boards screwed to it. Should be a fairly tight fit. There we go. The boards, of course, hold it down, and then we're going to sand. Now, as you start sanding, you're going to notice that the pencil lines are going to start disappearing. So when they're all gone all the way around, I know that side's done. I'll flip it over and do it again. Now, as I start sanding, you'll hear a rattling, and it's very loud. All you have to do is put some clamps here and here. These are just rattling in and out. So grab some more clamps, clamp it in, and just back and forth. Now as I turn it over and take a look, I can see that this is all sanded flat, but I still see pencil lines here and a little bit here. So I have to keep going till everything's flush, turn it over and continue. We finished sanding, and that took a little bit, and I'm still a little out of breath from it. Make sure to blow all the sawdust out so it has plenty of glue surface. But now that this is all smooth, now we're simply going to glue all the way along, flip this over onto the proper side, get it lined up, glue, put this on top, and then we need to clamp it down. Now in the videos I've seen and in techniques, they have certain small clamps that go all the way around, but I've also seen long rubber strips that they can use to wrap around the whole ukulele body. So I took it to a different level here, and I'm using some stretch wrap. We're going to wrap it up inside the mold, so that keeps its shape really well. It doesn't pop back out when I take it out. We're going to wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap and get it all tight and just let it sit and dry. Once you get the two halves on, make sure that there's a little overhang all the way around. They should line up fairly well because we cut out all those bracing. Now we have to wrap it up. I'll tell you this right off the bat, it's a lot easier to do this wrapping with two people rather than one, but here's how you do it with one person. Grab the wrap and pull a bunch out and kind of start it. Get it wrapped around once. That at least will hold it in place so I can pull it off the end. And you want to stretch. So pull it out and stretch and stretch. You want it on nice and tight. As we pull out a little further. Okay, and then we're going to start wrapping it around top to bottom. Then we can flip sides and stretch and wrap that nice and tight. We want this to go, and if it rips, that's okay. Just grab it and continue on. So I wrapped it a little too tight. I'm going to wrap at an angle. I want to get every little bit of it wrapped up tightly. There we go, and we just rip it off. Now it's tight, and then we're going to set this aside overnight to dry. Now obviously, because of the overhang, I can't pull this out once it's dry. So the first thing we're going to do is route off that overhang and so we can get it out. But we'll deal with that after your body is dried up.